Hi all, welcome to this Let's Talk FIFA 19 content. Now this video is, as you can see, is 26 minutes long, so a lot to cover in this video, from like squad battles, drafts, SBCs, online rivals, weekend league, etc. So I'm trying to cover as much as I physically can and break it down, pros, cons, etc. So if we can smash the likes, would be awesome. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at @GIsaLegend. All the links are down below for posting channel and social media links as always. Now, obviously when you go into the menu, you would say content right away. You could just focus on SBCs, but you've got to remember as well, with squad battles, with draft, with rivals, with weekend league, there is content within that in the form of like the packs. Now for me, with like squad battles, it's a great mode, but I feel the rewards can be very anticlimactic at times. Like, you get 200, like, for like top 100, it does fluctuate quite drastically when you kind of theoretically look at it. From like your best, if you're like best in the world at like squad battles, you're going to go from two ultimate packs, 2 rare mega packs, 100k, to someone that finishes top 100 getting a 50k pack and 2 mega packs, which is quite a big swing. It almost kind of says to yourself, what is it actually better for me to achieve? Then when you look at like elite standard, you go from rare mega packs down to 25k packs, but you have like obviously a mega pack in between. Then like your gold standard falls from like a 25k pack, Prime Mix Plus pack, which value is kind of fluctuated, you never really know what that value is, and then obviously a jumbo premium gold pack. But then you obviously you have your coins in between everything. But for me, like, for the amount of time that you could play like 3 games of squad battles and you could pretty much get like gold 2 in a week. So you could play 3 games, we'll just say for talking, 3 games on say legendary, ultimate, world class. I would imagine more likely you'd get silver 1 for like world class, but it's like legendary and ultimate you'd get gold 2, gold 3. So just for like 2 or 3 games you could be earning like 25k worth of packs, 10k coins, and then if it's gold 2 it's like 35k worth of packs and 11k coins, which isn't too bad. Obviously for the leaderboards, like, you need like at least 100,000 points just to be getting to like a decent position. So I would say that's with obviously 45 games, that's quite a lot of a lot of legendary. That's a lot of legendary to play in. A lot of games that you can't afford to muck up. Single player season and online season, these kind of seasons, they're redundant now. It's just coins and just the odd packs here or there. You will sometimes get, obviously, it says player, like a player icon in the middle, but you rarely see it featured, whether it be single player or online season. Like, I don't touch either, but obviously you don't have like online seasons properly anymore. That's what Division Rivals is. But for single player season, it's very little return. But Team of the Week, it's just coin boosts for playing the Team of the Week, which feels a bit flat. Like, if I was playing Ultimate, regardless if I was good, bad or indifferent, I would kind of hope for something a little bit better. Is this maybe where they should look at either coins and packs, or packs, or even a player? Like, I'm sure if we were to play Ultimate and get players in return, I would say that would be quite a good return. Obviously draft is like, I couldn't really care about draft whether it be single player or online. Like a 15k spend isn't too bad. Like, I would hope to make the pack return, the coin return from the packs. I ain't going to spend £2.50, £2.50, £3 a time through FIFA points. That doesn't, there's no incentive in that. That feels kind of a bit of a rip off. And 15,000 coins, with the amount of modes that are available through squad battles, through rivals, I would say like single player, the pack returns usually pretty weak, so it's online, you've kind of got to hope and pray you can get a couple wins under your belt. Now SBC wise, the only positive is, and like if you theoretically look at every single league in the game, which is what's kind of supplementing all of this, and I honestly mean this by the way, it's the packs in the leagues that is what is keeping this kind of very strong. As you can see, we've had a lot of player SBCs this year. We've had Cruz is our latest one, but we've also had a lot of flashback SBCs from Juanfran, Gotza, Hernandez, Dani Alves. The list just goes, Gignac, and then you've obviously the objectives where we've had a couple featured as well. You've had Koki Scream, you've had Scream, Schweinsteiger, you've had Player of the Month, we've had EPL and Bundesliga. So you've had plenty kind of like SBCs. Now obviously the costs have completely varied. Like Player of the Month, you've had free EPL in the form of Hazard, Lucas and Aubameyang. And obviously our upcoming one later this week. And then from Bundesliga we've had Sancho and Royce with our latest one coming up as well. We've had Europa SBCs in the form of Mkhitaryan, Alonso, Milinkovic, Savic and Ta. And then Gelson Martins is another one. So you can definitely say that shortage of options has not been a problem. SBCs as a whole has been kind of immense, which I can't really content overload has kind of been the one thing that has kind of stimulated this year. And then when you look at the league SBCs, like Honda and Riera, like Honda's kind of almost feels like a flashback card with him. Like for that it's like 55k worth of packs for about a 60k spend. Then you've got to factor in the SBC card. So you would say to yourself, right, does that card wholly feel worthwhile? Does it then feel like a 30k 30k card? Not really. Same for Dzeko and Skriniar. These types don't feel the most appealing. And then like Skriniar does in a sense, because it might take a bit of time for him to get to an 87. And then when you look at like Salvio, for example, from Liga NOS perspective, that is definitely very, very appealing. Like Rooney and Piatti for the MLS is definitely a considerable shout. With like the Liga NOS, that's 230k worth of packs for like 150, 170k spend. It is definitely expensive. Like Serie A is for like 400k worth of packs for like nearly 300k spend. Then MLS works out like 150k spend for 285k worth of packs. The way you've got to think about it is the amount of packs, the cards, the spend, and who kind of fits in your team. Like Caliguri, I would genuinely want Caliguri in my team due to how the team is just now. Gnabry doesn't appeal to me because of the right mid version would suit me more, the informed version, and also because on the left I would probably want to play like Royce, but saying that I would have obviously his Player of the Month, but I wouldn't even go Royce because of how my team is set up. I would even go Sancho. Then Podolski and Joe, definitely two very appealing cards if you're a fan of either. Like Podolski is like a throwback card, so I wouldn't exactly knock it. Like 120k worth of packs for like an 80k spend. I would say for both Podolski and Joe, like I would say Podolski's card would roughly work out about what 30-40k, and it would definitely be worth going for. Like Ronaldo, Augusto and Oscar from the Chinese Super League. You've also got to factor in with a lot of these leagues is, would these cards actually get informs? Would they get fitness cards? Would they get given a flashback card? It's all these aspects. Like for me, when I look at the Championship, for example, Forestieri I don't mind because obviously he's Italian and he's an alternative to like a Mobley and Belotti and Zaza. Davis, you would almost say, well, why not do Butland? Imagine if Butland was in and it was an 86 rated. I bet you a lot of people would maybe get a little bit excited about a Butland card. Like Chinese Super League, when I was going to say about that's like 110k worth of packs for 130k spend. Fovan and Depay are two controversial cards in my eyes because Fovan obviously is an inform, it's a striker, and I would say he's more appealing. Like an 86 rated striker card for me is definitely more appealing than 87, especially since Fovan is very likely to get informed above that 87 and Depay is probably likely to do the same. And for the spends that you have to put in for Legun at about 300k for 260k worth of packs is kind of not really worthwhile. Like and with the Championship, I meant to say as well, the Championship has a fair spend of like 150 to 170k for 220k worth of packs. Like Chevalier and Vormer, when you go on their league, like Vormer and Chevalier both had Team of the Seasons last year. Imagine they have the same again. These cards will come redundant come Team of the Season. But Vormer, for me, you couldn't really go much else. You could have went Pozzello, and then that's it. It'd be like you'd have been really clutching at straws. Who else could you have put in? You couldn't really say Wesley unless you gave him a 86 rated card. Like, Pro League is one of those leagues that's always going to be popular for some cards, but it's not always going to be popular for every card. Like, Tierney is the one card that everyone really got excited about. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, that Tierney card. It's like, how do I link it up? It's like, and then I was saying to people, oh, you could go Benkovic, and then you end up going like Subasic, and then Thiago Silva, Dani Alves, and then Kovacic, and that way. But like, SPL is not cheap at the moment. It's like 100k, say roughly on average, for like 100k worth, for 90k worth of packs. And you've got to factor in, is the players worth it? Like, Argentina, Pavon's card appeals to me, but I wouldn't necessarily go all out to nab it, and Zarati's I wouldn't be interested in. It's almost like they could have went Benedetto, could have went Lisandro Lopez. Could those cards then, like Benedetto and Lisandro Lopez, be getting flashback cards? They could have even went Tevez, but the same rule applies. Like, 260k for like 170k worth spend is a fair whack of coins. Like, Super League, Trezeguet now suddenly becomes appealing because of Salah, and especially if he gets a striker card, that you go Trezeguet, Salah, and then depending who you have on the right. But Belhanda's not the most exciting card. You could have maybe went Muslera, you could have went Skirtle, you could have went Mariano at centre back. But it's like with a lot of the leagues, you could have went countless options, and it's like 120k spend for 230k worth of packs. But this is one of these leagues that's genuinely worth doing, I would say, for packs and coin return. Like, the icons doesn't interest me because of the SBC setup. Giving up an icon to get an icon, you've got, and because of the spend as well, it's not overly worth it. But when you factor in all the SBCs just now for the leagues, you've got, at the moment, you've really got to factor in that there's a couple hundred leagues, a couple hundred SBCs, and it's not cheap. And that's what you've got to remember. Like, if you've got 260, 270 teams for packs, people will get excited over some. But like, when it comes to foot swap, the one trick I've noticed, and it's kind of handy for the league SBCs, is the Silver Players Pack. It's like the only SBC, possibly for this month, that I'd actually be excited about. I'd be saying to myself, right, like, the Silver Players Pack has always remained untradeable, but when you look at Lasagna, Lerma, Gamero and Kurzawa, the 4 cards don't interest me due to my team. Like, I might go Lerma if I was to be honest. But you've also got to factor in, with all these cards, could they get informs that go to these ratings? I don't think so. I don't see Lasagna or Lerma or Kurzawa or Gamero hitting 84, 86 rate. I genuinely don't see them getting 2 informs this FIFA. I really don't. Like, Lerma might suddenly get an inform for Bournemouth, but I don't see him going 2 informs. Like, for 14 Silver Players Packs, if you want it that way, like, for Pedro, obviously last month I could understand you might want to go Pedro, and the month before I can't see you maybe want to go El Shawari or Lallana, but 14 Silver Players Packs would definitely feel appealing. Like, I would definitely say to myself, 14 Silver Players Packs, and especially if you've got quite a good number of silver informs, then you'd say, right, well, if you're getting 12 players a pack, then there's always going to be something that might pop out that it goes, and yes, they're all untradeable, but if you've got 14 times 12, which is 168 players, then if you've done that 3 times over, that's 500 players pretty much. That's 504 players. The way to look at it, that 500 players, regardless if you've got duplicates or whatever, the amount of different players that you will pack will help all those league SBCs and you're sorted. You'll end up ticking a lot of the boxes without theoretically realising it. The thing that annoys me with basic and advanced, when I go and look at them again and let the Gamero run in background, is that they've just been the same. We had the nations aspect in FIFA 18, but that was a bit late, but it was fun, and so many different cards. If we were to get the same again for, say, January, I would be delighted. If we were to suddenly get a nations pile again of all the continents, Asia, Africa, South America, the Americas, and Europe, I'd be delighted. And same for all the different nations as well, getting different players, then it would help. Like advanced, I would like more instead of just cultural exchange. If we were to get more in basic and advanced, it would be handy. Just gives people more content. Like, I know the content overload is there, I will not deny, folks. The amount of SBCs we've had this year has blown FIFA 17 and FIFA 18 out the window. FIFA 19's upgrades, I feel bronze, silver, gold is a bit redundant and should kind of have the 81 plus the team of the week upgrades. It's just absolutely mental. And then obviously rivals and foot champions, you've got packs from them as well just for playing the game. Some of the times it's very lacking in terms of, I've noticed obviously people will say, oh, Division 3 and Division 2 and even Division 1, oh, it doesn't feel very appealing. It's 4, 5 and 6 seem to have good pack returns. Like this week I'm actually pushing for rank 1 just so I can get the 6 packs. Like, I've never hit rank 1 yet, I'm always rank 2, but to get 2 45k packs, 2 35k packs and 2 25k packs is definitely appealing. Like 90, 160, 210k worth of packs untradeable is no mean feat. That is quite appealing in my eyes. To have 210k worth of packs, I would surely hope for something worthwhile. I know I'm not obviously opening packs just now because we're kind of holding that player of the month Sancho that's been in our unassigned for about a fortnight now. But rank 2 is fairly isn't too bad, and the good thing as well, you get foot champs points as well, which kind of help if you're struggling a little bit, just that late push. 50 and 100s, not the most I would say that's handy for rank for Division 6, but like I usually take untradables always for every rank, and for 160k worth of packs for untradable isn't too bad for rank 2, like usually. But I would know in my head that you've got to remember as well that there's a good chance that you're probably still not going to, my pack luck is rotten, that I know that I'm not going to get boards galore. Like, but I would still say most of the time I'm going to get more than 52k or 39k or 27,500. And in actual honest, rank 3 I would probably take the coins every time though, due to the packs that you're getting. Rank 4 and 5 is not too bad. But for me, when I look at each division, like if I was theoretically looking at it, I really want like Division 5, that's what I really want. But I always get so close and then I have a little bad run and then I'm suddenly, as you can see, I'm floating between nearly Division 6 relegation into 7. But that's what I want. If I get, when I was nearly in Division 5 I was like 1160 and then I had a muck up. But there's always an incentive. This year seems to try and it's not force you to play too much, but if you were to sit down and look at squad battles and rivals, you could play very little games a week. But because of how they've set up foot champions this year, because you get 400 rivals points a game, my advice, and I've seen it said by a lot of people, is if you are even just Division 5 or Division 6, play your 30 games, especially if you've got a chance. If say that last 5 games, say you're say you're gold 3, but you've got 15 wins and you've got 5 games to play, I would play the 5 games just to try and get gold 2. Or if I was like 19 wins and had 5 games to play to get to gold 1, you'd do those little things just to make it worthwhile. But the one thing that annoys me, if I was a pro or good at FIFA this year, is the jump from the 100k packs and the player picks. I feel the top 100 should have 5 player picks regardless, and each one they should have at least 3 of the 5 should be at least 85 or 86 plus. You'd say you've obviously got to be wary with team of the week. You might have a bad team of the week, and you might not have something great, which I can understand. You might not say, oh, you can't have, if you had 5 player picks and there's only say 5 players that are 86 rated, you've got to be, you would say, well then those 5 86s is what you should be given. Just saves hassle. Obviously, if there was someone else in that team of the week that you wanted, then I could understand. Like Elite 1, like the Elite Standard 3 seems fair, but I would actually say 4. I would actually give the Elite players 4 player picks. Like the packs returns seem, I would generally say I'm quite happy with. But I would say the premium team of the week packs is usually what, free team of the weeks. I would maybe say give them 5. Maybe give them 5 team of the weeks, because there's 23, so you might as well make it worthwhile for them. Like gold, I feel 2 is feels a bit of a letdown to them. I would say all the golds should get 3 for player picks. Like, don't fret too much on like ratings, but like coin returns, pack returns, it's a big jump. Like gold 1 to gold 2 and 3 is a big jump. Like gold 1 is practically 250k worth of stuff plus your 2 player picks depending who you get. Like gold 2 is 135k worth of packs, and then gold 3 is 120k worth of packs. So it's like a big jump from 200 to 135 to 120. It's a big jump just for the matter of 6 wins between gold 1 and gold 3. I know a lot of people will try and controversially maybe try and finish gold 3 because they say, oh, that's better than gold 1 or gold 2, but I can understand. Like silver, I would even say give them 2 picks. Like, just give them 2 picks. It would feel like they've been rewarded at least. I feel 1 pick just feels a bit of a letdown. And even for bronze, as long as you've I would say bronze 1 and bronze 2 should get 1 pick. That's my personal opinion. And like the packs, I could understand for bronze aren't the greatest, but once you kind of, I feel like once you hit gold 1, even silver 3's not too bad when you look at gold, but gold 1's a 50k pack. Now as you can see, we're running through the catalogue. Now these footballs, before you go any further, these are ones that I have on, they are not for foot. So like these are career mode and so forth. Like if you've not done it yet, and I'm hoping you have, surely you've redeemed all your contracts, all your transfer list, all your transfer targets, all your coin boosts, everything that can be utilised for foot, even the footballs as well. There's kits. Honestly, the balls and the kits you could just quick sell, get a couple thousand extra coins. The contracts, the 99 plus, they generally go for like 500 each, and then obviously the coin boosts usually equate to around 100k worth of coins. But these extra bits of content are quite handy. Even the loan cards. My only complaint with the catalogue is for foot especially, they should kind of renew the catalogue every 2 or 3 months. Like maybe give you new items to have. Maybe even, like for me, I've got 312,000 FCC points or coins or whatever. I would love to use them to get packs. Like if it was say from a premium gold pack up to an ultimate pack, if a 125k pack equate to 100, well, I wouldn't say 100,000 of these because then I would feel like I'm getting ripped off, but you would make a fair compromise. As long if they were untradeable, then fair enough. But there's a lot of things that these FCC coins could get used for, like Player of the Month Sancho. When you keep going back to them, I can't open packs. I've got 24 packs that I can't open because I've got a Player of the Month Sancho. No matter what I try, if I want to browse packs, FIFA points, gold packs, etc., I can't view my FIFA the packs, whatever. I can't access them. The only way I can do it is through if I do an SBC. That's the only way I can view what packs I have. So the last bit I want to briefly talk on is objectives. The weekly objectives seem to consistently produce players and packs for us to obtain. We've had like Blind, we've had Tab, we've had Parolo. It's been quite consistent. Player of your Hansen and Duffy. Hansen and Duffy were fairly straightforward to obtain, by the way, so you couldn't exactly fault them. But at the end of the day, it's the consistency of content, where it be some of the objectives are easy, where it be SBCs. Like, you've got to have, it's trying to please everyone. Like, if, for me, and they do it quite well when it's the foot swap stuff, is like a little calendar. See if we were to have that for an SBC calendar, saying marquee matchups is a Thursday, prime icons is this day, league SBCs this day. It would just help that a little bit and just help us know. Like, it's just the little things that would just make it a little bit easy. Like, I know we've had a very large content overload, and that's going to be one of these ways. Like, to have pretty much like 400 SBCs this FIFA already at this stage is genuinely mental, I will not deny. But hopefully, and you could even say more if you include groups of like marquee matchups. But as a whole, folks, let me know in the comments down below what you think of FIFA 19 content. Is it good? Is it bad? What could be improved? What can? And so forth. But if you can smash likes, would be awesome. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at GZLegend. Take it easy, all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.